Okay, so let's go into more detail on the statistics portion of the trade log. This thing is so awesome. I can't even tell you. A good friend of mine, Mark, helped me with it. I was like, I really want to do this for the log, and I haven't been able to figure out how to do it. I can't make it happen. And he's like, oh, I can do that. He's a programmer, computer whiz person. So, like I said, if you ever have any custom stuff that you need, let me know, and I'll run it by him and see what it would be to get it done. Because he does an awesome job. So help me out with this, and it came out really, really great. So how do we use it? So when you first open your deal and you got nothing in there, this is just what it's going to show you. You pretty much have nothing going on. So once we start placing trades, I'm going to go ahead and fill some trades in here. So the first one, I'll make this fast here and I'll speed it up in a second. But the first one we'll put in there, we'll just put AMD. We'll say we traded it. We're to the long side, right? So we click long. We bought it at $5. We sold it at $10. How amazing would that be? 100 shares. Commissions we paid $5, and then we'll just leave this stuff blank for now. And then the strategy that we use is simple switch. So we'll just put simple S. So now when I come over here, after we have our first trade, we click refresh. You can see AMD is automatically added to the mix. The strategy is automatically added to the mix. And then we can see over here the same thing. Okay, so now I got both of those entries in, and you can see what the chart looks like. What is all those colors, and why do we have all that? And I don't understand what's happening. So there's this little checkbox right here. If it's got a square around it, then see now it's by itself, like that. So that's one thing. So when you check this checkbox, you can select multiple things to see how it is with all of them. Without the checkbox, you're just selecting one. So then you need to make sure you click on your ticker. If you're just on blank, you're just going to get nothing. Or if that checkbox is clicked, then you'll have a bunch of stuff, right? And then same thing down here. You need to click on simple, what the strategy is that you're looking at. What's that strategy doing? What is that ticker doing? If you're just on blank, you're going to get nothing. So there you go. So there you go. So now I can see my stats for AMD. Right now we are 50% win rate. And then I can go ahead and over here on the side, same thing, make sure it's clicked on, and then we can see what we're doing AMD with simple switch strategy. Right here, we're seeing every ticker that's been traded with the simple switch, and this is every trade AMD has made, and this is a combination of AMD and simple. So I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch more tickers in here. Let's do another AMD real quick, and I'm going to show you something that happens here. So AMD, and then we're going to short it this time. I'm going to go short. And then we're going to say we shorted it at $10 and we sold it at $5 with 100 shares, $5 in commission, and we also traded it with simple. So as I start typing, you see how it automatically starts to fill in for me. I can just hit enter, and then we're in. So let's go back over here real quick, and then we hit refresh data. And then I click simple or AMD, make sure that we're clicked, and now we can see I have a 66% win rate, and together, using AMD and the simple switch strategy, this is what I get. So I'm going to go ahead and fill a bunch of tickers in and strategies, and then we can talk more about the data that comes up. Okay, so now we have AMD, right? So every time we've traded AMD, we're looking at 55% losing rate. So remember, this could be a condition. So over here, if I did want to put the ticker, I could put the condition. So I could type in here that it's a gap trade. I could put gap trade, and then over here where the date is, I can go ahead and add AMD to it. So I can click there, AMD, and then I can just do it that way. And then I got AMD so I know the ticker on the date I traded it, and I traded it with a gap trade. And then if I do it that way, hit refresh, now you can see gap trade. So it'll tell you what it is you're looking for. So I trade by the ticker, not by the condition. And then I use my algo and my strategy. So, but if you're just trading not the same ticker every day, it's always different. Then having the ticker information show up here may not help you any unless it's something you want to track. It may be better for you to put in your condition that you're tracking. So I'm going to go delete that condition. Right click, or just click on it, delete, and then take AMD out, and we'll just leave the cell blank for now. All right, so refresh, and then you can see it's updated. All right, so AMD, I have 55% win rate right now. If this was a condition and I had 55% win rate, I might be like, I'm sorry, 55% losing losing 44% win rate, then I might be like, oh, I'm done with this condition. I'm not trading gaps like this anymore. I'm not trading this ticker anymore. That might be the first instinct. But why do I have that? Why is it that way? So let's look at Simple Switch real quick down here. Strategy, Simple Switch. I have a 75% win rate on it. That's pretty awesome. Switchback, I have a 20% win rate. Maybe I shouldn't be trading Switchback anymore, right? But I come over here. If I click on AMD with Simple Switch, I can see I have a 75% win rate. So it's pretty good. So maybe I do want to keep AMD. I just only want to trade it with the Simple Switch, But when I trade AMD with the Switchback, that's when it's bad. So now I can really see that, all right, well, I'll trade AMD only with the Simple Switch, not the Switchback. Now, if this was a condition like gap trades, let's go ahead and just type it in so visually you can see it as a condition. Okay, so now I got gap trades in. So if I'm trading the gaps is the condition, and I'm using the Simple Switch strategy on it. So my gap trades right now, only 44% win rate, really bad, right? So maybe I don't want to do that anymore. But trading the Simple Switch overall, I have a 75% win rate. That's pretty interesting. Over here, I can click on Gap Trade, Simple Switch. Wow, really good win rate with the Gap Trade and the Simple Switch strategy. If I trade my gaps with the Switchback strategy, not a good deal. So this really helps when you have a lot of data, especially when you're like 6 months of data, or you're going to reflect on your entire year and you want to see how your year did. You can look and see here that, you know what, next year, maybe I'm not going to trade switchbacks with gaps because it just doesn't pay off. Like that's where I lost most of my money this year. So extremely helpful to have this, this strategy tracker right here by ticker or by strategy or by condition, all those different various ways that you can do it. Okay, so I've added a different condition in here. Let's say power hour. We're trading a power hour condition, basically like the last hour of the day. We traded on the switchback in the last hour of the day, and we have all those entries in. That's what we've been doing. Let's refresh the chart. Now let's check it out. So gap trade switchback looks like switchback needs to go to the garbage. If you look at switchback here, though, now we're like at 50-50 win rate. That's still not good, garbage, right? But we look at power hour. We have an 80% win rate. It's pretty awesome. Let's look at power hour with the switchback. Wow, 80% win rate. So now all of a sudden the switchback looks like a good strategy. We just got to trade it under the condition of power hour, and we'll have good success. So you can see how this, I mean, I can't even tell you, traders, like this is game changing for me, I'm sure, and probably will be for all of you that are using this trade log. So good thing my buddy Mark was able to crack the code and be able to get this into the data, because this is absolutely fantastic to be able to track what we're doing on a weekly, daily basis without having to fill in all the information and do all the math ourselves. Just some quick, simple button pushes. But as again, with everything in this workbook, before you make financial decisions, double check the math, double check everything. So if you discover you're like, oh, this is bad, 80% win rate or losing rate or whatever it is, and you're like, you know, I shouldn't be trading this, then maybe double check the math. You know, maybe you decide I'm not going to do anything. So you're like, okay, I'm going to dump the switchback on gap trades, but go back and double check everything, make sure it's correct and all that stuff. Just always double check before you make financial decisions that it is exactly as you think it is. But this is a good way to quickly alert you to like, hey, I need to look into this, right? So definitely a very good way to do that. All right, so that'll do it for the statistics section here, where you can get it by ticker, by strategy, combination of the two. It could be a condition, doesn't have to be a ticker. All depends on what you fill in that area. And just as a reminder, if you're in blank, in the blank area, you're not going to get, right data. The other thing that you can do as well is, so right now we're just selecting one, right? And if I click on another thing, it changes. But if I wanted to see what does it do, gap trade and power hour together, I can click this box, and now I can collect multiples, and then we can see what the stats are based on multiples. I can click this box, and I can see what the stats are. You know, same thing with this. I can click that box and get multiples as well. So you can definitely look at different stats in different ways, right? Because the biggest thing with trading, or really anything when you're looking at statistics, is you want to find the combination that works for you. Something that you can have a statistical proven probability of success that's repeatable, that you can do, that you're actually capable of doing, that fits within your lifestyle, your goals, and your personality. So when you can be able to work different combinations right here in the statistic box, that definitely is like game changing for me to be able to really hone in, identify, and see if there's ways to squeeze more money out at the end of the year, or get rid of the stuff that's actually a drag on my trading and just focus on what's great. Because the other thing too is I don't want this to be a full-time job trading all day. I don't want to have to trade all day, every day, like, and research in the morning, research in the night, constantly looking at my phone. I don't want to do all that. I want to trade for freedom. So one way of doing that is to eliminate the stuff that's a drag, focus on the stuff that's making me more money, and that's it. If it ends up being trade one condition, one strategy, and one ticker, one time a day for 10 minutes, and I can fit my lifestyle, personality, and goals into that, that's awesome. Why trade 10 tickers to get that same thing if I can do it with one? Or why trade 3 strategies if I can do it with one? So that's the goal. And this right here is going to help me better hone in on what that is. All right, everybody. See you on the next one.